Welcome back, wannabes and creators, to another edition of The Business of Art, the podcast that attempts to demystify business for artists. This is a very sad episode because it is the last of our mini-season. We finished the Kickstarter on Tuesday, and I'm here to do a recap of the project. So I sort of have this broken down and wrote some notes about the positives and the negatives of what we did on this campaign. But first, let us just do a very quick recap. Our goal was 1,000,000% funded, or $10,000. We had a $1 goal, and we raised a total of $3,431. So we only got a third of the way there, a little bit more, but we're so excited because it was because of 155 backers. This is the weird thing about publishing, because in comics, almost everyone wanted the print edition, but in publishing, in the book side where there are no pictures, most people went for the ebook. So let's just break down where that $3,431 came from. 10 backers did our $1 pledge level, which is the PDF of our first novel, Gumshoes, The Case of Madison's Father. 59 people did the PDF of My Father Didn't Kill Himself, which is the novel that we did the campaign for. 16 people chose the Escalator, which gave you the first PDF of the original garbage draft script of I'm Going to Kill Myself, which was the precursing movie to the book My Father Didn't Kill Himself. 3 people pledged to get a second PDF of their choice. 14 people did the $20 paperback version. 17 people got a signed copy of that paperback. And then 16 people got the $30 hardcover. 3 people added that at Escalator to a second book. 9 people got a special thanks inside the book. 2 people were written into the book. And then 2 people picked our biggest reward, which was the short story where you are the culprit. So I'm going to write a short story of those 2 backers. We had a couple of other rewards, actually a bunch of other rewards, but that's the highest that they went. And that breaks down as follows. 88 people got the digital reward only. That's 56%. 20% got the paperback edition. 20% got the hardcover edition. And then 4% chose no reward. 56% is much higher than previous campaigns. That's 88 total people got digital only. If those same 56% of people got the $20 book, that's $10 to $15 more for each person. It would have dragged us up to the $5,000-$6,000 amount, which would have been roughly what we made on Ichabod. As it stands, even though we had almost the same amount of people pledged to this campaign and Ichabod Jones Monster Hunter, we actually made $2,000 less from this campaign because everyone picked the digital rewards. That doesn't necessarily mean a whole heck of a lot, because profit-wise, $5 to $10 is what you expect to get profit off a book, whether that is a digital-only reward or whether that is a reward that is the book cost. You're still going to roughly get that same $5 to $10 of profit margin on a good day. Now, that's a breakdown of the project. Now, let's talk about some things that I learned and that were special about this campaign. The first is that this was the most fun I ever had running a Kickstarter. Usually, Kickstarters are complete and utter slogs that make me want to rip my hair out during the course of them. They are all pressure and all anxiety, and this was not that. This was actually incredibly fun because we were profitable 10 minutes in, and I was doing like humiliating videos and funny stuff online, posting stuff on Snapchat and Instagram and Vine. I was just having a ball, and because we were profitable in that first 10 minutes of the campaign, it was all gravy. It was just, how much can we push this? Not that we weren't trying to put out an amazing book, which we are putting out an amazing book, but there was this tone of the campaign and the whole campaign, which is much more uplifting and fun than the previous 2 campaigns, where it was much more heavy-handed, talking about, oh my God, we need to make our goal, we need to make our goal, we need to make our goal. And that's because with the previous books, they were very, 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 very expensive to put out. You know, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars of artwork, and then production cost, and all of that stuff that we were doing over the course of the previous 5 years getting these books together. With this campaign, it was a novel, so, you know, it was my time, energy, and effort. Not that that's not invaluable, but it didn't have a monetary cost to it. And then there was editorial, which certainly didn't cost tens of thousands of dollars to do. And then the printing is coming after the book. And because of our amazing printer, we got an amazing deal for doing, as much of a run as we need to. We were able to basically come into this campaign knowing that we were going to turn a profit, or at least pay back the cost of production, which is something we haven't been able to do on the previous couple of books. If we hit $2,000 and we had a $10,000 campaign, we would have been struggling to get that extra $8,000. But considering our goal was $1, it was a whole bunch more fun because we knew we were going to get that money at the end to help fulfill all of these backers. The next thing that we learned was Facebook and Twitter ads didn't work for us this time. They'd been working in the past for our graphic novels, but when it came to this book, it didn't help at all. I don't think we got one backer from our Facebook and Twitter ads, whereas previously we would get 10 to 20% of our backers from Facebook and Twitter ads. Almost everybody that we got this time was from some form of our social, our holy trinity, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or our mailing list. And that stuff is working for us really well now, and we're growing that piece. Now we know that it works. We're putting all our energy and effort into growing our social and growing our mailing list. The coolest thing about the $1 campaign was that it was a great incentive for marketing. Look, when you go to someone and say, we're looking for a $10,000 goal, that's a lot different than saying, hey, we're looking to get 1,000,000% funded. You want to help us try and get 1,000,000% funded? Now everyone's on that bandwagon together. That's a lot more fun. And one of the things we always talk about in marketing is that you need to make it fun for everybody. It can't be help me, help me, help me, please pity me. It has to be look at this great thing that we got going. Come and join us in this amazing thing that we got going. For instance, we got great coverage on Comics Launch. They did an entire episode of the $1 goal, and they framed it using the My Father Didn't Kill Himself campaign. So it was basically 45 minutes of free advertising. Next, this is the first time with our third campaign that we finally felt like a publishing company. We're utilizing our mailing list or autoresponder sequences. We're retargeting ads. We were talking to the fans that we made at conventions. We weren't feeling like this was a hobby. We were feeling like this was something that we absolutely knew how to do. We understood our supply chain from beginning to end. And there is nothing in business like knowing your supply chain beginning to end. Exactly how much you're going to get cost, exactly how much it's going to cost retailers, exactly how much it's going to cost you, exactly how much you are going to have to spend to acquire a new customer. All of those pieces mean you can just scale. And it's something you can learn at the beginning and put all these benchmarks in place. We spent the last year gearing up for our last campaign, getting all of our ducks in a row. And now we can sort of reap the benefit of all the groundwork that we laid and continue to grow exponentially over time. Next was we didn't do any stretch goals this time. I don't think that it affected us negatively. Last time we did a campaign, I don't think they helped us at all. I don't think it really helped people push the campaign forward, as opposed to our first campaign where we were adding new stuff to the book if we hit a certain goal. We did a $3,500 goal, and if we hit $5,000, we were going to add 8 additional pages and back matter content. That was really, really excellent for those people in that first campaign and helped push us over the edge because they were going to get something inside of the content. But with our last campaign, we just did bookmarks and sketch cards and those sorts of things. And I really don't think that helped us get more backers or get people excited to help us out. Another thing that did help us out in this campaign was Kick Booster. We did try the affiliate marketing program, and even though it is very, very early and in its infancy, and most people don't know what affiliate marketing is, we did raise a little over $100 from just affiliate marketing, and we were able to, give people 10% of everything that they raised, which was awesome. So they got something, and they helped us, and we got something. And I definitely want to do that in the future for our future campaigns. I will say that there is a big stigma against affiliate marketing, which I'm not sure why. I mean, it's helping us, it's helping you, and it's giving you an incentive to talk about the book as much as humanly possible. Here's the deal. We, right now, have a little bit of an audience. and we're growing that audience every day. And those people want to see our new books, or at least I hope they want to see our new books, and they're going to buy the book regardless of whether it's Kickstarter or not Kickstarter. However, if I needed to get money to raise funds to do something, for instance, this was our first book, and I needed $5,000 to get artwork done and print the book, I absolutely would not do a $1 campaign because I know I need $5,000 in order to get all of this stuff done. We had the great benefit, as we talked about earlier, of not having to worry about our costs, so we were able to do a $1 goal. If you are looking to test things out, I would recommend not doing your absolute dream project. I would recommend doing a smaller project on, let's say, a $500 goal. Maybe it's a one-off, maybe it's a 35-page black and white book, or maybe it's a series of short stories. It's something that costs you very little to put out so that you can judge how big your audience is. We did a $1 goal and we loved it. I would totally do it again, but I stress that I would do it again because we have a distribution chain. We have a little bit of an audience grown. I would not recommend this for someone who is just starting out, which seems counterintuitive, right? Seems like someone who's just starting out should do a $1 goal, and someone that already has an established brand or a little bit of an established brand should be doing things at a specific level of what they're looking to get funded for. The other thing that I will say as a negative to the $1 campaign is that we became a staff pick, and we still are super thrilled about becoming a staff pick. And I was told by the team that had we not done a $1 goal, we would have gotten a lot bigger boost and a lot more marketing push behind us to make sure that the book was much more successful. Because we did a $1 goal, it ended up being less pushed. Even though we were on the staff pick page, we could have probably done a lot more promotion if we had also done a much larger goal, or at least something that was commensurate with what our print costs were. Definitely now that I know what we're going to do and where we're going to stand and how many people are looking for us to get into doing more novels and children's books, I can actually set a realistic goal. And hopefully when we launch our next campaign in April, we will have a realistic goal, be able to get staff pick again. And after getting staff pick, we will get a lot more promotion because we have an actual goal set for how much it's going to cost to distribute all of these books. One of the great things about this campaign was how many people came up to us and said how much the $1 goal was a brilliant idea. Whether it's because of the stress or just because it was great marketing, because we were trying to do a 1,000,000% funded goal. They really enjoyed the fact that we did this $1 goal. And because we did a $1 goal, one of the best things that we could do was we didn't have that pressure, so we could focus on doing marketing that worked and really testing marketing. So we spent a week doing each piece of marketing. Instead of in the past, we threw everything but the kitchen sink. We were able to actually parse it out and say, okay, let's try our mailing list. Let's try Twitter ads and Facebook ads. And we did all of this very strategically, and we could see exactly where we were having great success, we were having terrible success, and where we were having middling success. And we can cut out all of the things that weren't profit positive. We can keep the ones that were profit neutral but didn't take a lot of time and helped us grow our list. And then we could focus on the things that were profit positive and helped us grow our list and help us connect with our fans. Now, let me talk a little bit about the negatives of the campaign. The negatives of the campaign were that because we made our goal initially, there's no urgency for us to convince people to back quicker. There were things that we did, like humiliating videos every week, which helped with the urgency and helped get people to donate. But because we only had this $1 goal, there was no urgency for them to say, well, if they don't get to a certain place, then they're not going to get anything. So I would urge you, if you need that urgency, if you need a specific amount of money, ask for that. A lot of the people on social media didn't seem to care about the publishing aspect of the Kickstarter platform. A lot of people care about comics, and they go there and they have a lot of time and energy and effort spent going through comic properties and finding good comic properties. And when you contact comic book review sites about a Kickstarter, they're much more open to publishing things that are cool. Book review sites and book places that we found no interest in looking at Kickstarter. In fact, most of the people that I talked to on social media didn't care about Kickstarter. They all asked when it was coming to Amazon, which was a big difference between the comic book platforms. So Kickstarter is very good for specific platforms. As I've done my research, it seems like what they are really good for is visual platforms, not so much straight books. However, you can have success with books, like I had just proved. We raised a considerable amount of money on Kickstarter for a book. We would have most likely raised a whole bunch more for visual books. For instance, our next book, Can't Stop Tooting a Love Story, is a children's book. It's all visual. People are going to want that book in physical format, and it's going to be a lot easier to show people the Kickstarter for that book and have them pledge for the campaign. There's not a community as strong with Kickstarter in the publishing space, and especially in the non-visual publishing space, as there is in the comic book space. The other thing is, we talked about this before, because this was non-visual, most of the people chose the PDF as opposed to the physical book. We did very well. I had 155 backers, which means 155 people want to see our book. They pledged a lot less because they just got the digital copy. And that's kind of it. I will say one thing that I learned from listening to the Comics Launch episode with the $1 campaign is either do a $1 campaign or a full amount of money. Do not do $2 or $5 or $20 campaign, because those are going to raise a whole lot less than something that was just a $1 campaign or a full campaign. I don't know why. Maybe it's because people see the marketing gimmick in the $1 campaign and they think it's fun. And then obviously for a full campaign, they're going to pledge to get the campaign funded. And if you do like a $2 or $20 goal, people are going to think that you're a lot less confident in your product. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that Comics Launch pulled out the numbers and they found that the $1 campaign doesn't work as well as a full campaign, but it works a whole lot better than a $20 campaign. So I would do this again for sure. 100% I would do a $1 campaign if the right criteria were met. If I knew that I didn't have to make that much money to be profitable. I would not do this if I had just sunk $10,000 into a book. Also, I would do it if I had just run a campaign a couple of months before and I did not want the stress of running another campaign at $10,000. Because those are very, very stressful. Also, I would do a $1 goal if I didn't know exactly what the platform was and how much I could expect to raise. I kind of thought that people would want to get the PDF. So if I had done a $5,000 goal, I'd have been sorely missed out and I would have had enjoyed the campaign because all of the people wanted the ebook. And that is about a wrap for this mini season. I can't believe we got all the way through 11 episodes. What's going to happen from here on out is every Friday, I'm going to come back on and talk about something related to the world of publishing or business so we can keep moving you along. There'll always be something Friday. We want to know what we should do specifically. So please go to Kickstarter University or Wannabe Press and email us. My email is russell@wannabepress.com and tell us what you want to see on the show. Also, if you want to get updates on the show, please join the Wannabe Press mailing list, wannabepress.com, and get some free comics. You'll learn a lot about us and what we stand for. We will be back on Kickstarter in April with our next project, Can't Stop Tooting a Love Story, which you can find at can'tstoptooting.com. Join up for that mailing list and get a bunch of cute information about our next children's book about acceptance, love, and being yourself. And if you're going to run your own Kickstarter, please go to freekickstartercourse.com. It's my free 7-day course about how to create, launch, and fund your Kickstarter. It is absolutely essential for anybody who is thinking about running a Kickstarter. Trust me, you have no idea what you're getting into. Whether this is your first one or 10th one, there's always something that you can learn about validating your idea, building your audience, building your brand, and creating a project that will get funded. And if you want my secret weapon, please go to kickstarteruniversity.com/crowdster. Crowdster is what I use to build my Twitter audience and do all of my crowdfunding analytics. It is fantastic. If you go there, you can get your free social media gauge and see exactly how much you can expect to raise in your next campaign. Then sign in and get your 7-day trial of Crowdster free and see how it can help you building your audience. I'm telling you, since I started doing it, it's like night and day. I have no idea how I ever lived without it. And that's kickstarteruniversity.com/Crowdster. Have a great day, guys. I will see you at the next one. Enjoy. Peace.